Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanye now, recorder. Do you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk. The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
It is another fresh morning to keep you updated here at the Alternative Digitalk TV. A good morning to your viewer. Thanks for being part of this mighty platform that prioritizes matters of national importance. It is a fresh day here in Uganda's capital, Kampala, and we wish you the very best out of this day. We believe you're enjoying it as well. If it is not going on that well, we do pray that everything goes on very well. We are here to keep you informed, inspired, as well as keep you educated. And after the mighty global news updates that I'm bringing in now, the Princess will be now coming in to take you into deep topical discussions, and they will be discussing matters of national importance, so you do not have to miss any bit of it. It is a reliable platform for all of you out there. So feel free to tap that subscribe button and join tens of thousands of people that are subscribed to this mighty platform. You can always follow us on all our social media handles at The Alternative Dig Talk, on YouTube, The Alternative Dig Talk as well, on Facebook, and we are now even on TikTok. Some short clips of these shows will be always uploaded on TikTok. You can follow us on our TikTok page at DigTalk TV. We are here, of course, to keep you inspired, educated, as well as informed. Now I'm bringing you the updates that are making headlines this morning here. It is the 18th day of November 2025. We are moving steadily and soon saying bye-bye to 2025. We believe each step you're taking contributes to that greater success you dream of. Now starting our mighty global news updates, we are starting with the story of retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye. Yesterday at the People's Front for Freedom Party headquarters in Katonga, they were marking 1 year of Dr. Besigye's incarceration, as well as other political prisoners, including Haj Obed Lutale. These were abducted in Kenya from Westlake Hotel and brought here to Uganda, and they have been charged with treason. They are on treason charges and illegal possession of firearms. The PFF team, led by the interim party president, Honorable Elias Lukwago, said the government has done whatever is possible to make sure Dr. Colonel Kizza Besigye loses his rights as an individual. Elias Lukwago said there has been a lot of human rights abuse here in the country. People have been abducted, and most of the institutions have kept quiet on these charges. He cited out the issue of Sam Mugumya, who up to now is still missing, and the government institutions say they do not know the whereabouts of these of this person and even other people that have been missing. Now, the PFF declared a week of prayers for retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye. They urged all Ugandans to join this struggle and pray for retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye. In his message, Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago said that the aim of the government was to eliminate Colonel Besigye, and they thank God that up to now Colonel Besigye is still alive, much as the government or the people in power were targeting him and they wanted him dead, saying that because he is a threat to what he referred to as the Museveni dynasty, and that he is a threat to what he said that President Museveni was grooming the son, or is still grooming the son to be his successor as the President of the Republic of Uganda. Something he said Colonel Kizza Besigye has been fighting to see that it does not happen and Uganda does not become a monarchy, in his words, Elias Lukwago. Now, of course, several human rights organizations came in and condemned the acts of the detention of these two and other political prisoners. Several human rights activists have come out to condemn this, but there seems to be no tangible results, or we have not seen the release of these two, much as there has been a lot of effort here and there, including their lawyers, trying to ask for their bail, but this has been rejected, or they have been denied bail several times, including the mandatory bail. They have been asking the current judge, Justice Emmanuel Baguma, to recuse himself from the case, but he has kept on insisting that he has all the rights to be in the case. Now their government says they have all the evidence that proves how these people were trying to disrupt peace in the country and were organizing to overthrow the current government illegally. So that is the government side as well, and the PFF declared a full week of prayers praying for retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye, who they say is in the wrong hands in Luzira. His health has been deteriorating each passing day, and that the government has kept a deaf ear on making sure these people receive their rights. Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago and other party officials said it is time for other human rights organizations to come in, including the International Criminal Court, to put this government to account for all the atrocities in his message, what he referred to as the atrocities committed by the ruling government, the NRM government, saying that the ICC should intervene and help. He called upon every institution to make sure they work as required, not work favoring any group of individuals. That is it there, marking 1 year of Dr. Besigye and Haji Tale's detention since they were abducted from our neighboring country, Kenya. Now, relatedly, in our other story, Amos Rwangomani was also abducted reportedly on 14th of August 2025. Amos Rwangomani is an NRM cadre, and several people have come out to call for his release. The habeas corpus order was issued, but up to now, there seems to be nothing like an attempt to release him. The government says they do not have him in any detention. But this comes at a point where even the two Kenyan nationals who were detained here, the government had said they never knew their whereabouts. Later on, we saw President Museveni come out and say they had them detained in what he referred to as a fridge. Now these two, Bob Jagger and Nicholas Oyo, came out and said while in detention, they found out that there was a man known as Amos Rwangomani who asked them to make sure when they are released, they talk about him and make sure the President of the Republic of Uganda is informed. According to Nicholas Oyo and Bob Njagi, they say the government of the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, is not aware of about some of these people who are detained, including Amos Rwangomani. That is it. That is the message we got from these two Kenyan nationals who were later on released. But the government had said they never had their in any detention. Now President Museveni came out and said the opposite, saying that they had detained them after learning that they were trying to train Ugandans and the NUP team on how to riot. He referred to them as experts in conducting riots and that they were trying to make sure that they disrupt peace in the country Uganda, which the NRM government says they are not ready to tolerate. Now that is it. Amos Rwangomani as well has been missing since 14th of August 2025 and is said to have been abducted from Mulago Business Center. This message by the SFC officials, as the wife Claire Tekateka explained that the people who took him were in the SFC uniform, and no official communication despite effort by the family and friends. We saw Minister Kahindo Tafiri come out to ask the government to release him and say Kahindo Tafiri was saying that if this situation continues, there are some people who are ready to take arms against the government, just like they did when they realized that some individuals in the previous governments were doing these atrocities. Now, General Kahindo Tafiri said that the government should be very careful when it comes to abducting these people because people are keeping in a lot of anger. The wife still cries that the husband's whereabouts is still unclear and said that since these two Kenyan nationals came out, Bob Njaga and Nicholas Oyo, and gave out this evidence that the lawyers could now use her lawyers, the lawyers acting on behalf of the husband who is now missing, will use that evidence to make sure they have Amos Rwangomani out of detention wherever he could be. Now moving on, the presidential race, as I've been always reporting to you, is always getting hotter and hotter each day. Now, yesterday, Nathan Nandela Mafabi, who is the presidential flag bearer for the Forum for Democratic Change, was in Nwoya district, asking the people to now consider voting him into office. He talked about freeing all political prisoners, including Dr. Kano Kizza Besigye, who he says has been incarcerated illegally, and that if he becomes president, that's one of the things he will work upon as soon as possible. Today, he is expected to be in Kole and Apache districts, also asking the people of those particular areas to vote the Forum for Democratic Change into power and vote him as a person to become Uganda's next president, probably to host now President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, a person who has been in power for now close to 40 years and still promises to better this country and even protect the gains the NRM say they have achieved so far. In the same race, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu was in West Nile sub-region. He talked about improving a transport sector, even bringing back the Leire, which he says the current government has not thought about, and the roads are in a poor condition. He talked about the fishermen there, that the government has mistreated them, and that under the leadership of the National Unity Platform, where he is the presidential flag bearer, they will make sure that the Ugandans enjoy the country, including these fishermen, that they will now be having a right to fish because they are Ugandans. They should not be mistreated by the security forces. Relatedly, Robert Kasibante, who is also among the 8 men in the presidential race of the Republic of Uganda, was also yesterday in Serere and Katakwi. He talked about improving the housing of those particular areas, saying that people are living in a sorry state and that it is the role of the government to make sure these people live in modern homes, at least they have where to stay. He talks about improving their agriculture to make sure the people of Uganda and these earlier areas also get to have something to put in their pockets, that is to get some money out of their agriculture they practice, saying that if the government does not intervene and bring in markets for their goods and support them even by giving out some support like giving them seedlings, these people will still lag behind. Now he promised that everything will be better in his leadership. That is Robert Kasivante for you. Now President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was also in Bugwere, and of course asking the people of those particular areas to vote him into office, and they protect what they referred to as the gains. President Museveni says the NRM government has worked really hard to make sure that Ugandans enjoy a lot of peace, that now the environment is favorable for Uganda's development, and that this has been because of peace brought in by the NRM government, and that it is now time to protect those gains and propel the country to now a middle income status, which the NRM government says it is just approaching soon from now, that they are about to be termed as a middle income state, or those countries that are at least better economically. That is it. President Museveni says he is ready, and the NRM government is ready to make sure they protect the gains and even contribute more towards the development of the Republic of Uganda, regardless of the criticism from other opposition leaders coming in, as I've told you previously, about the people in the race. 8 of them in the race, but 1 will come out successful and become the president of the Republic of Uganda. Now, in our international news, the special tribunal was set to now hear charges against the former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina. Now, this special tribunal found out that Sheikh Hasina was guilty of crimes against humanity. The tribunal found she was responsible for ordering a violent crackdown on student protests last year, and the UN estimates that around 1,400 people died, and that most by gunfire from security forces, that the security forces were ordered by now this Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, to now kill these people, something they say was illegal, and now she has been sentenced to death. However, this happens at a time where she is not in Bangladesh. She was tried in absentia. She is reportedly in India, and now we are waiting to see whether the Indian government hands her over to now Bangladesh, a neighboring country. But it remains a huge challenge. We saw Sheikh Hasina come out and say this was all false, that the verdict was she rejected the verdict, saying that it was done unfairly. She was not given freedom to bring in her own trusted lawyers. Instead, the government chose to bring lawyers that she was not in agreement with, and she also said that this was about politics, not intending to bring justice. She said these people, or the tribunal, was partisan and was prioritizing politics over justice. That is it in Bangladesh, and now we are waiting to see if India does release her now, with even the Interior Minister, who was also sentenced as well. But we are waiting to see if that really happens, much as most of the political commentators say the Indian government is likely not to release Sheikh Hasina to face these charges in Bangladesh. And that marks the end of the mighty global news updates. However, like I promised you, now the princess is already here in studios to take you into our topical discussion of the day and make sure we keep each other educated. For now, have a good morning. I'm Kenneth Rwemirembe Rubatsimbira.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, recorder. Do you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Hi, Rogers. Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
The Alternative Digitalk. Real issues, real talk.
Amacha malungi era njagala okubakulisaayo mu Mighty Global Updates. Nsuubira nti zibanyumidde era mwekuumidde n'okumanya ebyo ebigenda maaso mu nsi yammwe Uganda n'eggwanga lyonna okutwaliza awamu. Irize Tuesday ennaku z'omwezi ziri 18 omwezi tuli mu gwa November. Gwe bayita nseenene. Simanyi oba walidde ku nseenene naye nga guno gwe museenene simanyi ate oba olinze omwezi guyitewo tandika otukaabira nti enseenene ate zaakuyiseeko. It is a good morning here at Digitalk and the city at large. We are streaming live from Makindye wanene Lukuli Nanganda. So njagala okubategeeza abatanatwegata kwetako we live on Facebook and YouTube ku the Alternative Dig Talk. Pages ezo wona wobozisanze following a liking, engage in the discussion by using the comment section or take a mechibuzo cho or your opinion. Chiba chirungi nyo no sharing a opinion you respectfully ate osobolo kubanga ate debate ojiwesa ekitibwa. Era nga bwe guli nti every Tuesday ntera okubeera ne Commissioner Fred Bamwine tuba twogera ku nsonga ezenjawulo as it is n'olunaku lwaleero tugenda kubanga ate twogera ku nsonga ez'aba political prisoners and the rule of law against the judiciary. Is it being politicized or it is handling the law as it is should be handled? So tugenda kubanga twogera ensonga ezo bulungi nnyo naye nga ate tugenda kubanga tutunuulira nnyo ensonga eya Dr. Kizza Besigye yawezezaawo omwaka mulamba ng'ali mu nkomyo olw'oluvannyuma lw'okuwambibwa ng'ali mu ggwanga ly'e Kenya omwaka ogwa 2024 mwezi gwa Novemba ate munnange kati abala omwaka mulamba ng'ali yeruzira. Weewaawo omukulu Justice Baguma ye agamba nti ono tannamala bbanga limuweesa mandatory release era nga ye agamba nti ebbanga lyonna Dr. Kizza Besigye ne munne Hajo Bedi Lutale Kamulega gye baamala nga appearinga before court martial ye tabibala. He does not know about that. He doesn't recognize it. He's even not aware that these people appeared before the court martial. So to him, ebanga bano lye bamaze ate munnange yeri aconsideringa era nga agamba n'omusango yagwesibyeko n'agamba taguta era ndowooza grounds zonna ba lawyers ze ba presentinze tezaakoze makulu according to him. So before Commissioner Bamwine joins me, ngenda kubanga ate twogerako ku nsonga yaba presidential candidates and their mandates and their campaigns and the byonna ebiri mu kutambulira mu kunoonya obululu with omukulu Kenneth Robert Simbira Remirembe agenda kubanga ate atukubiramu tooki y'ebintu nga bw'abiraba. Is it the campaign as usual oba waliwo ate ekikyuseemu oba byebimu bye tuzenga tulaba? And every campaign people will come out of their houses, go traverse the whole country, promise things that they cannot fulfill, and then at the end of the day one person is being declared the winner and we go back to business as usual. Oba ate this time round waliwoko ekyenjawulo ekirabibwa nti osanga bannayuganda balengera essuubi oba tuli ku kintu kyekimu. You are most welcome, Kenneth. Ndi musanyufu okubanga nkukyaziza olunaku lwaleero mu studios.
Neyanziza mu mbejja amaanyi abanamaanyi mbadde nasiibudde nangamba nti wano wotava.
Wano oba tolina kuvaawo.
Neyanziza kubeera wano ku the Might Drive. Kirungi abalabi baffe tubeebaza okubanga mutambula naffe. Tusuubira nti nammwe eyo bibatambulira bulungi.
As a youth, I want to kind of hold you in the studio such that bavubuka banno we banakulaba nanti nze nejjemu bavubuka nakuze dda. Muntu mukulu. That when your youths listen to you and listen to your opinions or your views, they can relate more other than looking at an older person giving their perspective. So yensonga lwaki tukuliriza nnyo wano abavubuka ku Dig Talk because you make the biggest percentage of the population. So you should be driving these debates, asking the important questions and, advocating for what you think is rightfully yours. So as you are looking at the current political environment, Kenneth, njagala ombuulire okulonda kwa 2021 vis-a-vis okwa 2026, do you see any differences, any similarities, oba byebimu watandika ddi okugoberera ebyokulonda?
Nudde mbigoberera kubanga ndi muto.
Muto?
Kubanga ndi muto nnyo nnyo.
At what age?
Ndoza myaka nga 7 nali ebyobufuzi mbifaafaako si nnyo kutuuka ku deep naye nali mbirowoozaako.
Osobola okumanya nti kati tuli mu kalulu kati bagenda kulonda.
So embeera y'ebyobufuzi ndabanga compared to 2021 this time round tulinga abaagala okuva mu kuwaga mu slogans kati tuyingireko deep ebyobufuzi ndaba biringa ebikula mu ntegeera y'abantu. Omuntu kati olaba ali beyond nti gundi alina amasannyalaze kati at least tulaba percentage kusinga kululi wetwali ng'omuntu asobola okuyimirira ku stage n'awaga n'ayogera ku bigambo awo tayogedde ku kyagenda kukola tayogedde ku manifesto tayogedde ki naye n'abaako akagambo kayogera abantu ne baga oyo kwe tutava. So at least we see now a slight change this time around nti kati abantu bafaayo nnyo okumanya byayinza okukola ne bola social media eno yesinza okutumbula ebintu bino the past 5 years tegibadde nga this 5 years ekintu social media kitadde ku level ndala ne bola ku feedback nga comments abantu ze bateekayo owulira temuli message nga politician abadde ayogera slogans ze biti nolaba mu comments at least mulimu aba reflecting and there is no message mbyoyogedde kati bituyambirawa bwotugamba nti kino nowazino noteekako embeera ekyamula kati abantu
nokyamuukiriza abantu
we see now that slight difference nti kati this time around abantu waliwo percentage though si nnene naye waliwo percentage kati eri more focused ku what do you bring to the table. Are you promising a better Uganda oba just oli mu kuzimba amasanyalaze just kwogera bikyamula abantu
kukyamukiriza abantu naye nga toyina nnyo
at least now we see that difference. Mu security wise this campaign ebadde calm noza nawe ogirabyeko.
The Minister of Justice promised us that and I think he has delivered. He didn't lie.
Twali twaggwamu essuubi nga tulowooza bisuubizo but this time around those are the people who were behind these the violation of these people's rights bategeere ne bagamba nti tufa tusubwa kuba kyalabibwa nti the more these people are mistreated in this campaign period ate bafunanye tutumu bakola amawulire okusinga nga mu media bobeerako gundi bamukwatidde wano babakubye tiyagaasi gemawulire so balabanga kibakolera mawulire ne basalawo kati bwongo kati katusirike leeta kyoleeta kyogere kyogenda okolera bannayuganda tukirabe so kati awo eyo shift eyo ate jjukira mu some of our politicians bajja basuubira nti the environment ejja kubeera they came nga bali set how do they survive in such environment bazimbirawo batya kwata kamera be ready awo tugenda ozimbira naye kati kamera eraga byoyogera.
I remember abamu babagamba bazimbe eggaali
so
kati you find that gaali tezirimu
eggaali tezikyalina byezaali meant okukola emirimu gikyuseemu era they had to sit down draft new strategies ezimatchinga neno peaceful a little bit peaceful environment kuba tulabyeko poliisi awamu nga eyingiramu although egamba nti these people are targeting police banoonya masanyalaze mu buli ngeri bagamba tetujja semba nakyo
basosonkereza poliisi linkube n'emmundu yo teri masasi gezesa
raba so that's how the situation is so far mu ggwanga bw'olaba abantu batandise kati okupaying attention to the message. I think the reason as to why they were not paying that much attention in the previous election was these disruptions eza poliisi okuyingira ne bakuba mutiyagaasi so omuntu najira ku sympathy ne bagamba ayogera atya nga security forces zimwisa bwe bati. So I think this time around okuteekawo environment eyo it is a step mu Ugandan politics.
If you don't have the message, you have the time. So it is up to you.
Genda kubungana lwo bagambe. So
bagamba kyakubagamba.
So bobo osuubira nti kati mbadde ngenda twala sympathy abantu bagambe bambi ayogererewa ojire mu ka stretcher oyogereko obugambo bubiri oveewo bagambe yaliyogedde ki bamuyisiza kati go toli mulema tebakuyisiza bubi go and speak.
Yeah, true. When we look at the youth engagement in politics, are they doing meaningful youth engagement? Because abasinga, yes, we agree, abavubuka bavuddeyo okwetanira ebyobufuzi. Naye, are they being meaningfully engaging oba babulamu?
When we see abavubuka bakatandika at least okubanga abali interested in politics naye engagement yabwe ngera omuntu atandika yenna wabeerawo mistakes ezikolebwa mu 2021 excitement yali beyond what the leader can bring. So even this time kikyaliwo nti oli omuntu aprioritizinga just slogan tamanyi kyetegeeza yawulira Farida munnange
protecting the gains
yeyo kati bukuba protecting the gains tongamba kirala tolina byotugamba at least there is still that and this has been due to nali njogerako nti our fellow youth bafunye late exposure politics. Social media ngeno tekubaddeko social media platforms ngeno digital kezimenti okuwogera ku politics okuengaging abavubuka babibeeremu. So engagement ebadde wansi tulaba etandise okuvaayo ngeri meaningful now this time round. Kuba abavubuka badde bakozesebwa nnyo mu kukola eggaali, mu kukola violence,
bebatimba ebipande, bebatambulira ku zino emmotoka za campaign nga bambadde t-shirts
bawanise n'amagulu ku piki batambula bwe bati. So yebadde nga engagement etali meaningful nga still the decision esigalira those people who understand the core politics. So bakukozesa gwe ng'omuvubuka nobayamba okuyisaawo agenda zaabwe kuba wali omuntu atunuulira that crowd n'eggaali eyo n'alowooza nti this the support nenga majority of those tebalina ndaga muntu tebalonda na kulonda. So participation yaabwe ng'ekoma kuwaga n'okwogera ebigambo nga tetuuka ku the real sense of it kyetwali suubidde nti bagenda kulonda bamanya ani ow'okulonda, how can they select the right leader from now 8 people between them race. So at least engagement y'abavubuka tulaba nga etandise okuvaayo if platforms like this zisigala nga prioritizing politics without bias nga ziwa the real sense of politics. I think in the next like 5-10 years abavubuka bajja kuba bategedde nti okuengaginga mu politics kiri beyond okutimba ebipande
okuyimba obuyimba bw'aba candidates
okubuyimba just so notegeera nti it is beyond that osobola okucontributinga ku future y'eggwanga lyo. So the youth have been feeling nti tebalina say ku what happens in their country nga bawulira nga tebibakwata nga politics bya kikulu nnyo
by'abantu balala nnyo.
At least bw'olaba nga batandise okuvaayo we may not blame them nti mukyalimu excitement. We appreciate that step and it is a step to appreciate kuba again is the interest gwozimbirako okuyigiriza ekituufu. Mukyakya abalokole bagamba jangu oli mwonoonyi mukyakya bagamba jangu nga bw'oli mu minizo ng'okyanywa ku kenge Yesu ajja kukusanga mu kkubo. So the steps so far abaatasanga bajja kubeerayo era waliwo baasanze from 2021 to 2025 bo ne bayingire ekkubo ettuufu. Saaba batanasangibwa bajja kubeera involved, I think, in the near future.
Well, when you look at our population, it is made of young people taking up the biggest percentage, but then you wonder, why isn't the young people's agenda being fronted? What is the problem? What is not happening? But anyway, we are going to get into that. Kenneth, when you look at the manifestos as about President Sabesimbiyewo, which one do you relate more with? Ndia anza kusinzira ku ya munyagweyo tenkolera naye ne ya protecting the gains oba eyinza okunkolera oba ey'omukulu wa NUP Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Which one do you relate more with and why?
I think nze enkola ya munyagwa kyenjagalako nti
olonda omu ku ba presidential candidates musanvu gwe gamba no ngenda neyo ngenda neyo no otuwene ensonga zo why you relate more with that manifesto.
Sinza kusitinga nti omu yekka naye at least waliwo ebintu bye tubadde tufaako.
There are certain aspects that you pick from all the manifestos.
Munyagwa prioritizing nnyo ekintu kya balancing the national cake for all regions. Nti fenna tutuukeko tufuneko kyenkanyi. And this has been lacking somewhere.
Highly developed ngendala ziri wansi nnyo.
Waliwo the section controlling half of the entire platter, the Rusania Rona. So at least
ziri endala zisigadde ne zigabana ku buno oba busigadde.
Botunulira ku Nathan Nadalama Fabio wa FDC. Economics kikulu. Ayogera money in the pocket. Ekyo kiroto kya buli omu nafe abali wano mu studios.
Someone was asking me how is he going to make sure we have money in the pocket. I also don't know, but we shall look for Nandala and we know how he was going to make sure we have the money in the pocket.
Eyo nayo agenda ntuufu. So at least those two people for me are outstanding mu manifesto yabwe. Nze ndaba that is the major thing. But bobo ina money in the pocket bobo ina of course ne peace tujetaaga protecting the gains. The gain we have is peace, but there are some of the gains we don't want to protect.
I was about to ask you, why are you not protecting the gains?
There are some gains we don't want to protect because what is the true definition of the gains? It is different. Nze nyinza okugamba gains ezange zaawukana n'ezizo.
Okay.
You may say mbadde president for 40 years. It is a gain to you as an individual.
Yes.
So you may want to protect that gain. But is it gain ya buli munauganda agirabanga gain?
No,
oba NRM ekipinze majority in parliament, it is a gain. And you want to protect that gain. But does it reflect the Ugandans?
No.
Though there are some gains zengamba we should protect, at least tufunyeko ku mirembe nti environment esobola okthrivinga maybe business community n'ebirala. Though wabeerawo elements endala ezeetaagisa mu peace eyo. Botekawo peace nga osuubira bannayuganda akola business, you will attract investors bajje kuba the environment is stable. Waliwo ebirala byetusuubira okutambulirako, emisolo gibeere wansi, amasannyalaze gabeere wansi, entambula amakubo gabeere malungi nga omuntu atambuza ebyamaguzi bye okubijja mu kyalo ewaffe mu Bende okubireeta e Kampala, at least ekkubo ddungi tagenda kuinkaringa extra costs olwa transport means. So gains ezo waliwo obukwakuliza obuzitambulirako obulala, so nabo tubulowoozeeko bwe bwannandala money in the pocket see you're balancing the national cake. Yes, so General Mugisha muntu adayogera nnyo ku state capture. But politicians banji bavudde ne boogera ku state capture elements zekyo nga abductions, ate abantu ne basirika, omuwoleza wa government n'avaayo n'agamba gundi tetumuyina, president n'avaayo n'ayogera nti tumuyina. So signs ngezo one might interpret them as a state capture kubanga institutions za government si za government. Kuba twadisuubidde nti President Museveni kyagenda okumanya report agijjamu these institutions. So President Museveni bw'abanga alina report ng'abalala ate bo tebalina that report, tebabimanyi. Omuwoleza wa government tamanyi nti gundi ali detained, teri institution ekimanyi.
Maybe they know, but they cannot come out before
then they are
the
not
big man
doing their mandate.
says something.
Kyetusuubira bwe bateekawo habeas corpus nti abantu bano baleetebwa bafuo babalamu nekitakolebwa, tusuubira nti maybe there is something wrong ekigenda mu maaso. So we would expect nti these institutions are independent, tezirinda order. I'm not saying they have been waiting for orders, but
it is okay to say, just say. What happens after you have said, we shall see.
Of course, we may not say they have been following orders, but to have judici and to say the order. But one might assume it may be over the order. So, General Mugisha at state capture somehow in Zogambo Bodia Mtufu if these things are happening. So, my elements, these elements is speaking about presidential candidates of Enjaulo. What do we be reflecting a kufenga bana Uganda? At least kuchapis we are recognizing manga gaine mirembe tulaba abagwira bajja wano mu Uganda batambula okay musango muntu avudde Europe atambuza bigere wano wabweru atambuza awulira ali mu freedom mu ggwanga erira ekitali mawanga agasingawo ne mu the United States n'amawanga amalala ag'amaanyi getuwa ekitiibwa. So at least that is a gain to protect, but how can we better that gain is the question.
Yes, we are they are protecting, but then ngenda kweteka kubali protecting the gains nejijukira nti
now in again is protecting.
No.
Your mind again is
they actually protecting the gains as a leap way forward to achieving the agenda 2040 and the national NDP3. So noza bajja kukolera ddala bulungi singa mukama abawo omukisa ne baddamu ne balondebwa. Ne bw'otunuulira manifestos zino olowooza bakandidates bano bali mu addressinga issues ezammwe abavubuka because ayinza okubanga yesu akuuma emirembe naye olowooza emirembe gwe gikugasa nga tolina mulimu tolina kyakulya. Are they addressing the youth issues as they should be addressed? Oba babayise ebbali and you are okay with it?
Of course, wabera underlying factors ezireta bino ebintu byetulaba. Wabera underlying factors ezireta unemployment. Tusigambye nti buli ggwanga lina employment rating eri kwa 100%. Buli ggwanga libatolinga unemployment. Tulaba ne mu America abantu they are homeless tebalina mayumba. Ebyo ebizibu byo weebiri. Naye waberayo underlying factors eziretera abantu lwaki akola buli lunaku ng'akola mmere ya leero. What is behind that?
Hand to mouth.
So this, I don't think most of the politicians they are talking about that, but ukakubye tulaba kuba ebyo the underlying factors tetuziraba, and the more you don't see sibuli omuntu aziraba, there are people who are smart enough akuwa strategy nayogera nagamba this is because of this, waliwo sente za World Bank ezajja nezitakola kino neziribwa, like omuntu ategeera that order ne chronological flow y'ebintu bino
nakulaga nti high rate ne ya unemployment yaleetebwa kino, sente za gavi fund zaalibwa. Banaye mpadde example, sigamba nti zaali za kuyamba abavubuka bajja kunkipotinga bubi.
So as underlying factors, the challenge is they don't relate right away with us abalonzi. So bwenjogera ku underlying factor toyina bo-relatinga nayo, naye bwenjogera ku okureleasing political prisoners including Dr. Besigye, it is something you
relate with it because you see it.
But what is causing it? Why is he in detention for all these years? It is something that may be an underlying factor which can't resonate directly kunzo omulonzi. So ate mu politics waffe wa Uganda akyakula kyalimu slogans, akyalimu excitement ne vibe. Ebyo ebintu tebikola vibe. Bw'oba onnyonnyola bintu bino tebikola vibe, tofuna amasannyalaze nnyo. Oyogera olulimi lwe batategeera. So those underlying factors, not all politicians bavudde, waliwo abamu abagezaako okubyogera, but some of them tebafunye attention gye baalifunye. Those underlying factors wabeerayo behind the scenes eyo ebireetera ebintu okubeerawo lwaki biri bwe biti. So instead boogera ku bye tulabako, which of course are just symptoms ez'ekirwadde ekiri munda. So I think we have not had leaders, most of them, there are those who talk about these things, but unfortunately they have not had our attention as voters. Kuba beboogera si bitwagala okuwulira. Boyogera abavubuka bayingire mu kintu, why are they we are second to Niger mu mawanga gasinga obuto mu nsi yonna. For all these years lwaki basigadde emabega? Tulina aba opposition members of parliament, tulina aba ruling government bali mu parliament, tulina abakiikirira abavubuka ku mitendera egy'enjawulo. Lwaki tekituukiridde? Mwe kye musuubiza okutuukako. We want to know that underlying factor ekikozinze ekyo, because if you solve that factor n'ebirala bijja kutereera. So the challenge is, and I think some of them know, naye tebaagala kubyogera kuba tebikola mawulire mu politics we Uganda wano. Nti tetunabeera bakulu nnyo mu byobufuzi. Okwagala ensonga esukako. Tuli wano, tuwage. So that vibe omuntu tekako akayimba.
Twagala bya dictator agenda nga tetumanyi how he is going.
So nyumirwa nnyo akadodi n'ojja n'okakubira kulaale n'ozinaazinamu n'onyigaawo ku basupportable n'ogira tugaba amasannyalaze amwina. So
atobajunguludde nnyo.
No, there are some of those who do, I'm not saying all candidates do say. Ne abamu ku balonzi twagala that excitement. Twensi twagivaako. So those slogans oziwulira ffe twabivaako government tetugirinaako obuzibu.
Tulina kyotugamba.
So I think tetunaba kutuuka kweyo level eteeka kukakungunta nnyo tujjeyo tugambe these are the underlying factors. The involvement y'abavubuka bwebanga eri teri high as we would expect. So I think we have not had much emphasis. At least one out of the 8 candidates, nga 7 of them are talking about the underlying factors. Naye kati oli alaba ng'okwogera ku bino ebiri behind the scenes bannayuganda batasobola kulaba yaba asigala emabega nga bali aboogera ku bannayuganda bebako direct ate ekintu bakitwalira ddala. So and every politician would love the crowd. Kuba wali bagenda okuwagira Farida ng'alabye okuŋŋanyiza whatever politicians abamu mbeera ndaba abantu bagamba nkimanyi gundi ajja Semba naye nja Semba naye n'omulala n'agamba muyinza okubeera ku tebo bantu 10 nga mwena muwagira omu naye olwokuba yeetalaga crowds zino nga mwena mugamba kimanyi ajja Semba naye nanja muwagira naawe ng'oyogera kyekimu nange gundi oyo candidate B ajja Semba naye ngenda naye nemwesanga nga abantu 10 mwena abali ku tebo mumuwagira naye temukimanyi. You think taina support. Yes. So lwaki owulira nga agenda cruising? It is because you don't see those crowds. And what brings the crowds are these symptoms of the disease that they don't want to address.
The issues you come and tell them ngenda kubanga ate abaana bamwe banywa obujo bulimu amata n'eggi buli ki buli ku break.
Omwana awulirawo n'enjala.
Ne balabira ddala nga abaana baabwe bali mu ssomero babawadde amagi.
Kuba omwana era akyali mu ssomero kyoyogerako naye kigenda kusoboka omuntu agenda kisobola naye kati omaye okukyogera ku muntu alina enjala omaye okukyogera ku muntu ng'omwana n'ekyokulya teyaze nakyo ku ssomero eyo awulira ng'eggwanga oliyina awulira ng'eggwanga oliyina ogenda oditereeza but will you really do it?
Some, maybe we do not know. We haven't tested them. We have had one president ever since we were born. So we haven't tested another president. We have only seen promises. So we do not know.
But would it even be the major challenge?
That is the issue now.
That's what I'm talking about. That is a symptom. There were reports. I'm glad that I know some of these things. So, abana obutaleta mmere twaberanga eyo nga mstaff n'obudde akanagamba mpaako ku kyokulya kyo nga tekasibye galina mmere kaagala munne waako akaweeko. But that is a sign nti wakati bwavu. So are you solving obwavu oba oyagala obwavu bwo busigale naye ng'omwana ye talina njala? Because is it the major challenge? Is it the core problem y'abazadde bano gye balina? Don't put that money mu kuliisa abaana. Ezo sente, why this is my opinion, lwaki ezo sente teziteekebwa mu ebyo ebiwa abazadde bano sente ne beebeezaawo kuba omuntu talina kukuwa kyennyanja akuwe eddobo ogende weevubire. So sigambye nti candidate oyo teyalina birala bye yasuubiza webiri eri ebirungi.
We are just giving examples, so please don't come for us thinking we are attacking some candidates here.
Nagamba goliko tasobya. So we are not talking about one candidate.
You know the people of your generation are very
we are talking about
people.
oyinza okurelating an example endala ku ba politicians abalala byobogerako. So nadde mpulira the Common Man's Party Flag Bearanga agamba abakyala muzaalire ddala ke kaseera zaala president agenda labirira omwana.
What if he doesn't go through?
Sakati ng'otoba na lubuto luwo. Kuba ekyo yakyogedde ng'ayogera ku improving the health sector n'okutereeza ebyobulamu mu ggwanga nti kati omwana gwe kasita oba ofuna olubuto munyagwa baraka waali.
In fact, this time round it is bikwase munyagwa ebya health.
Kati gwe ebyobulamu bikwase munyagwa funa lubuto luwo.
Werinda gavumenti ekulabirira.
Tofaayo omusajja oba avunaanyizibwa agenda funa lubuto luwo. And that is one may say kizibu kya ggwanga abantu. Yes, ebyobulamu byebizibu.
Kuongera aba irresponsible fathers because now they will know the government is going to take care of the kids, so they will just come and donate.
Maybe omwana yeba namukuza nga ali responsible. Yeah. So that is
drive and we are looking at the campaign situation as it is in Uganda and the manifestos as per every presidential candidate. Byebali mu kusuubiza banna Uganda. Now what is feasible, what can be put on table, because it is one thing to promise and it is one thing to fulfill. Olowooza bye bakusuubiza gwe bw'otunatulamu mu mbeera eri mu Uganda wano singa omukulembeze oyo aba ayiseemu asobola obbikuwa oba just abakyamukkiriza mu mulonde. Nzitera nnyo okubagamba nti no, it is very important bwe wulira nti President gundi katugeze nga Kasibante ali mu constituency oba ali mu area yo, genda yo kulali wuliriza byayagala okubakolera, then ogenda kubanga osobola okumakinga informed decision ku lunaku luli olw'okulonda nga 15 January singa obeera tokikoze n'owuliriza manifesto ya muntu omu. You will not have the advantage of comparing those manifestos to understand who was the best one and who to vote okubanga ate abakulembera for the next 5 years. Tugenda kubanga ate tuwumulamuko katono nnyo tukomawo tujja kuba tweyongerayo ne program The Mighty Drive. A very good morning.
Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, do you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
Hi Rogers, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
What does corruption mean?
Well, summarily, corruption is abuse of public power for personal gain or for the benefit of a group to which one owes allegiance. For example, when a public office is abused by an official accepting or soliciting a bribe. By the way, private people can be corrupt too, like bribing police officers to escape fines.
Okay. So exactly how does that concern me?
Well, do you pay taxes?
I guess, yeah. What does that have to do with this?
Everything. Because those taxes you pay are supposed to facilitate services you use, like water, electricity, roads construction, medicines in hospitals, name it.
Okay, that is much bigger than I thought. But it can be stopped, right?
Well, yes it can, although it may not be as easy as it sounds. And here is the reason why. Corruption roots are grounded in our country's social, political, economic, bureaucratic traditions and policies.
So, what has kept it going this long? I mean, why don't we stop it?
Well, the main reason why it has been here for so long is because institutions are weak, either as a result of poorly defined ethical standards of public service, weak administrative and financial systems, or ineffective watchdog agencies.
What can we do to stop it?
At a national level, we must focus on strengthening the independence and effectiveness of public institutions that fight corruption. At a personal level, we must commit to never giving a bribe.
I promise I'll never give a bribe.
Well, that's a great decision you have made. Me and you now have to spread this message to all our friends. If we all do our part, corruption will be no more.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Night drive tutambulira ddala paka saawa 4 kakati mu kino ekitundu mpitayiko mu comment section okulaba ate opinions zammwe ze musharinze ng'okwotadde n'ebibuuzo byammwe. Nkyali ne Kenneth Roberts Mbira ali wano nga representing the majority youth of the population of Uganda, and he's weighing on the youth involvement, the campaigns that they are, and which manifesto are relating more with the youth, and those that are not, and why the politicians are not relating more, are not addressing the youth issues and the challenges, and they are, you know, looking at the bigger question, and this leaves the youth not included. Someone told me that when you want to be included, you will continue being excluded. Include yourself, fix yourself somewhere. Let them fight you from within. Etolinda bakunyigawo kubanga teri agenda kunyigawo. Otherwise, you need to fix yourself somewhere. Be somewhere such that as you are advocating for inclusion, you have a position of power that you are holding. Kati awe tobuliza Uganda system Kenneth Bola Wojiraba olowooza yatekebwa oba yakolebwa okubanga ewa abavubuka gapu okutaking up positions zino ezibawa decision making powers oba mukyali stiff orders the youth mukola nnyo okuwaganya okuyingira.
Well, system abavubuka I think mukifaananyi erabikanga eba
favoring
balina ba representatives ku mitendera egy'enjawulo. So, bwaba balina representatives tulabanga that is reflected. But I think government gye tulina mu buyinza, I'm not opposing the government, I'm saying government gye tulina yayingira nga bavubuka. Yes, but abavubuka bayingiramu by then. This time around after close to 40 years now, bakaddiye. And but twasomanga mu history wabeerawo nga kye bayita consolidation of power. So, if that system came in, consolidated power, up to now close to 40 years they're in the system, we think there has been a lot of abavubuka abamu now they are left out, but they no longer belong because waliwo abantu abaludde mu buyinza, so we feel like they feel like they no longer belong there. So system much as erabikanga ebawa freedom tebalina wa stepping because every institution they would step into feels like it is consolidated somehow by the people who came in when they were maybe youth, but now they make they are the ones that influence decisions in any country, so in any aspect of the country. So one may think the system weriwo, yes, wabaddewo engagements okuleeta abavubuka on board, abavubuka abesimbyewo mu bifo ebyenjawulo, waliwo some steps and measures put by the government and we recognize them. Naye if we talk about the largest population that is not reflected. We would expect to see vice president either nga mvubuka, prime minister nga mvubuka. Kuba eggwanga bwetugamba nti majority eggwanga siri abavubuka, si bwe kiri, that's how it is. But that is not reflected in the top leadership. Most of the youth, one may say that bali mu bifo bye balimu nga they don't have much say.
Okay, so, but also, Kenneth, one would say that even those youth that have been tested with positions of power haven't delivered to the expectations of the appointing authority. Maybe it is the reason why the youths are not being involved more, because you are lacking the capacity to drive impact. For example, we have youth ministers, but if we are to look at the impact, what they have delivered. For example, Minister Nyamtoro, first she was a youth MP, and then she was appointed to be a minister of minerals. But if you look at how she has performed, we have Lilian Abba. The youths that have been given ministerial positions, but still people say the youths are not delivering. They're not satisfying the appointing authority. What could be the reason?
Yes, the question there would be, what are the expectations of the appointing authority? Because twine expectations if Nancy, but what are the expectations of the appointing authority? Katono nyo we have been seeing abamu ku bali mu top positions maybe a vice president, prime minister, nga one of the main agenda is prioritizing the programs of the party and the NRM agenda. What if that is the major expectation of the appointing authority?
That would do.
So, with that, if I make sure now the party gets more support, that would be a positive impact towards the appointing authority.
Yes.
Now back to Ugandans. Would it be much of an impact?
Definitely not.
So, no. Now these people still, the youth we have in power, do they have the real power? That is the question. We ask
It is
ourselves.
what we expect, that you
We
have
expect
the
they
real
have the real
power.
power, but to do what? If we see institutions lacking independence, some government institutions lacking independence, waiting for approval from now maybe above.
Yeah.
So one may say they do not have that power to influence decisions and policies in the country. So webali kyenjogedde nti mu kifaananyi tuyinza okulaba nga abavubuka tobayina, because what do mu cabinet meetings if they are ministers bapresentinga ebirowoozo ebireflectinga abavubuka.
It's what we expect.
And now the question is appointing authority yagenda okuba appointinga nga bareflectinga ki? Did they reflect okubeera royal to the appointing authority? Did they reflect okuba hard workers towards the development of the country? What criteria was followed okubaleeta mu bifo bino? So we may not blame abavubuka abakulembeze abavubuka abadde mu positions zino kuba background yaabwe. It has not been for us as Ugandans to trace. It has been for the people in power to now say Farida ono engeri gye yankubira campaign muka kemufuula minisita abavubuka ajja kubandeetera bampagire. That could be an agenda. So bannayuganda bayinza obutagisiima, ayinza okukikolera n'agamba this and that. It has been due to this government. But down on ground tulabye impact abavubuka bafunye emirimu, initiatives za government zibatuuseeko nnyo. Have we seen that? I'm not saying the people in power have not done that. We have seen several attempts. Baram Barugahara nga bavaayo
The only problem is that
before we judge them nti abavubuka ababadde mu bifo tebakoze, background yabaleeta mu leadership yali etya, what are the expectations of the appointing authority? Are those expectations linked with the expectations of Uganda baba abavubuka? So that is the major concern.
Well, obadde oyogera nonjijukiza some politician yayogera nagamba nti they are willing to embrace the youths okubanga babayigiriza okuba oba babalekera space, but what has made them stay is because they do not see the capacity of the youth holding these powers and driving impact.
Of course, where will they get the capacity? Bajijewa kiringa this unfairness said, won't you? Omwana avudde ku university wawulira jagenda osaba omuli bamugamba we need experience for 5 years. Where will he get that experience ya 5 years?
Maybe they expect you to be working as you study.
Kitya
Maybe
nsoma mateeka onsuubira kubeera nga mpoza mu kooti mu ya 1 year university. So I think by the way we should eliminate such things. Which capacity?
We employ you on experience basis.
Bugamba experience oba olivinga muvubuka agijewa. Ongambye nyina kubeera ne experience ya 2+ years. Kati kitegeeza omwana alina kuva ku university myaka 2 agituulewo by all means kuba buli omu ayagala that experience.
Nanti ate bw'otuula yebeera experience.
Still the same because because of volunteering for 2 years.
Yeah.
Now can you volunteer for 2 years mu Uganda? We
always advocate for people going out there to volunteer. That's how people will see your skills and
because
employ
it is
you.
the alternative.
It is the best practice.
It is good to give the exposure, experience and connections twetaaga, but omwana ataddemu sente za university asomye ate ayongereko kati rent, feeding for 2 years za volunteering okuweza that experience you need. Now bringing it back to the capacity y'abavubuka okubalaba nga tebalina capacity. It is you to blame now, the people in power, because if you have been in power, abaana bano bayise mu high school, bayise mu primary, mu secondary, ne bayita mu university, tebalina capacity leadinga ggwanga lyabwe. You are the one to blame abadde mu power. You have not showed them the way. Omwana talina bwayiga nga tayigiriziddwa gwe omuzadde. Now omuzadde in this position is you, the person in power. Have you empowered these people from the grassroots?
Naye mmwe muyigirizibwa kubanga mulina n'engombe zigamba nti tolina ky'oŋŋamba.
This is due
Are you willing to learn?
This has been so because of late exposure omwana agenda okutegeera ebintu by'obukulembeze na role ye gy'alina mu ggwanga lye at a later stage ng'amaze okukola decision biki by'ayagala kuva wansi alabye katuni enjoyinze music bu movies so life agibuildinze nga you have not been part so oyagala kuleeta bintu at the last minute ebitakyarelatinga na life ya mwana ono kuviira ddala wansi so capacity yaabwe if we had empowered them from down there ne bajja nga bali involved wabaddewo initiatives za government somewhere nga tulaba unsa mu masomero okwengeginga abaana ne mu bukulembeze patriotism clubs n'ebirala so if these initiatives are not just meant for a certain group they are meant for the benefit of the whole country but emekozesebwa nga campaign tools at least we would see more capacity building and it has been done NRM tulabyeyo capacity building mu bavubuka mu bibiina ebyenjawulo and we would still urge for more of that but if it comes to leadership at least deputy prime minister bw'abeera mukulu prime minister bw'aba mukulu first deputy kabeere muvubuka in that abe ali mu kugurumingibwa okutuuka nti agenda ku repressing ono naye first prime minister mukuru second deputy mukuru and you say you are grooming a youth twalisuubidde nga cabinet ya Uganda ffe ng'abavubuka bwe tubeera 70% ne cabinet at least we have 60 to 70%.
Well, that actually takes me to this question. Is it about quantity or quality? Do you want to have a lot of MPs are not doing something, or you want to have a certain number of MPs? Yes, they are youth, but they are driving impact. Because, yes, tuli bavubuka bangi nnyo naye oyagala abantu bangi nnyo nga bavubuka be bakulembeze because tusobola okubeera nabo ne batatuleetera impact. Are we looking at the quantity of the quality of the leaders?
We are looking at reflecting the real challenges eziri mu bavubuka because if they are the largest population they are the ones facing most of the challenges. If they are in power they know the very challenges.
Katutunuulire ku bano betuwaddeyo abataano abatuula mu parliament. How often do you see them fronting challenges of the youth?
Of course, we would say maybe tebalina si naye emala the number yabo
babagaana okwogera ku floor ya parliament
ne batabagaana naye gati go the number wali majority say so we have not I believe they have contributed and we appreciate but
do you also realize it never know ba MPs abalala yadde nga tebakulembera bavubuka but they are youth bavubuka yadde nga tebazze ku position nti youth member of parliament. So we would say you are relating more with the other members of parliament because they are somewhat of your age.
No, but the largest percentage si ba youth abamu ba youth babuvamu abamu ba Jaden bakulidemu because now politics where Uganda okuyingira politics you must have money maybe tugambe nti emabega akasente kaaliyo so okuzoli mwana wa gundi erinnya lya family probably you have not faced the realities of life ey'omuvubuka omutuufu naye I'm not saying all of them teba facing they have not faced those realities of life naye at least reflection eyo temaze bulungi most of those we see betugamba nti bavubuka naye bali mu power they have not been exposed to that kind of situation abavubuka gye bayitamu eyo down there. There are efforts taddeyo amaloboozi amalala but we have been disturbed by selfish interests over real matters of national importance okubeera prioritized. So there are some who have gone through the stages of a real youth mu Uganda gyayitamu but I believe if we had that much reflected mu even numbers at least bonna 10 tewali buzeemu 3 aba prioritizing ebintu by'abavubuka naye tuleme kubeera n'abatono ate nga n'abatono kwabo ba Jaden mwana wa Jeno gundi oba mwana wa mugagga gundi ku kitundu so lwalinnya lya kitaawe ayingidde politics yasomera Bungereza n'avaayo n'ayingira wano Kampala adda atambulira mu convoy ya kitaawe tamanyi realities down there. So if the political environment is very stable and favoring n'omuntu wa wansi we see these youth rise to even greater positions we will have their problems solved kuba bali mu top positions.
Well, nze ngamba abavubuka tusooke taskinge bano abaliyo babeereko ne kye bakola, because if you are there and you are not doing anything kigenda kuleetera abalonzi okulowooza nti abavubuka anani performers, because tubalonda and they don't do anything. So mwe abali in positions of power mubeereko ne kye mukola, so that bwe munaakikola kijja kuleetera abalala abanajja okwesimbawo okulaba nga bafuna support. Now we cross to the monetization of politics. Someone asked me, we talk about the activism, the social media activism and the ground activism. When we talk about the ground activism, bino kera kumacha emisolo gy'ebintu gyekanamye, Dr. Kizza Besigye ne team ye bagenze ku street bagambe kimala ebintu bei esusse banayi mukendeze ku miwendo gy'ebintu. Kakati street social media activism is where wano banayi sukali asusse tuli ku online. Do you think social media activism haina impact nene nyo as compared to the physical activism or the ordinary activism gwetwalina?
I think aina impact twalabako kuba pothole yonna ekifaananyi ogipostinge kyafosinga gavumenti okuteekamu ssente mangu bakoleko ku makoba amabi. So impact weeri, but the challenge is the environment gye tulimu mu ggwanga. Activism is a very hot ground for any individual. Kwogera ku kintu ekitatambula bulungi, at least we can all agree that it is now becoming very hostile, because you don't know ani gwonyiza na ina authority ki.
You don't know who you have offended.
Tulabye bangi, waliwo omuvubuka mu prisons abadde akozesa cop ampe ku TikTok ng'ayogera ku bitatambula bulungi mu kitongole ky'amakomera. Ekitongole kya respondinga mangu ne bamusamoninga mu disciplinary committee, ne bayisa n'amateeka gakugira ba officers okubeera involved mu process eno. Byebitongole bigamba nti it is misconduct y'abantu okwogera ku bitatambula bulungi, naye tulabye several people ababadde mu activism oyo nga basibibwa. So it is becoming more of a threat to every individual. Nebo chikola physically bachitaminga nga riot. So at least activism online eno yinza okubeera nungi data information mu bantu abadde tamanyi naye n'amanya, ababadde mu ba stakeholders ne bawulira nga kibakwatako. So because social media is huge, kyotayinza kukola ku ground one interview oba one clip eyogera ku ekyo ekitatambula bulungi can reach millions of people in just a day because of social media. Kyotayinza kukola mu tugamba nti tweyiwe ku kisaawe wali ekkololo tubanje gavumenti ekendeze simanyi omusolo gw'ekintu, so ekiyinza okubeera ekizibu. So at least it could be more impactful. Only that the environment here is not favoring such.
Yeah, but are you also looking at the digital divide, considering the fact that the internet penetration in Uganda is really low? So that means the issues that are being discussed online are concentrated in towns. Because they really access social media and the data is very expensive. So literally, social media activism is for town people.
Not necessarily the town people. Nabo mu byalo abamu kuba town people abali mu town bano balina links mu byalo, because we don't just appear here mu Kampala. Tulina roots, and there are some abavudde wano mu Kampala nga bali exposed to such ne badda mu byalo. Yes, we all agree nti percentage tenabeera y'amaanyi nnyo mu byalo. It is largely abantu b'omu town n'ababiwa attention ebintu nga bino. But just for entertainment, abamuwa attention, but still bwebera activism yoku ground, if we are to compare the physical, ebivaamu police responding quickly ne bayimiriza mangu ddala. Abanamawulire abali badde babikwata bituuke ne ku kyalo ku kaledio k'omu kyalo bakubibwa bubi. So n'abanamawulire bali ku extent yewala okukavaringa search, and if they don't cover search kitegeeza bijja kukoma Kampala bikoledde oba Mityana oba where. But for social media ekirungi nti restrictions zo ntonoko bo comparing environment gye tulimu ntono nnyo, but the challenge remains, do these people pick the message in the right way it is supposed to be taken? Bwebanga message ya activism oli agitreatinga nga content just bwa scrollinga bwati oba agitreatinga nga message eri meant okuleta positive change mu ggwanga. That's where the problem is, and what influences that is the awakeness of these of us the people. Are we politically awake okutegeera tugamba oba it is a difficult topic to understand. So that's where the challenge is. But even this can I call it mainstream activism nayo ebaddenga it is a hard topic to some people. Baba bekalakasa bafaaji babatadde mu sente balya sente za bisiyaga sente z'abazungu. Still understanding that has always been a challenge. So it is still even a challenge this side online. There are some people who would treat such information as just content. So
that takes me to kubanga tugenda juxtaposing bavubuka ba Uganda, bavubuka ba Kenya na ba Tanzania, the East African community, how they do activism and the impact they drive. All of that, do we have any lessons with what has been happening? Twalaba ebyali Kenya, twalabye ebibadde Tanzania, kati ne waffe wane Uganda ke kaseera ke tugenda okubanga tuyingiramu. Are there any lessons speak more activism akolebwe Kenya ne activism yakoleddwe Tanzania?
I think one of the main difference, the aim would think it is the same. Aim ya bringing a positive change.
Exactly.
Activism
That is the aim. The
aim is to bring about that positive change. Yes. However, what changes is under whose government or what is the political environment in your country. What is the difference? Mukenya at least waliwo ka freedom kw'okwogera ku bintu bino ka activism somehow oli ayinza okuweebwako omwagaanyi. Mu Tanzania toto silence kimya. I used to study Kiswahili twalina akatabo nga tuyita kimya kwata ku mumwa bwoti. So total silence mu Tanzania. So mu Uganda one, you either choose to speak or to disappear. One of the two things. Era oyinza okuva ku might drive one nga bagamba wanyiziza gundi yitawo. So ne mudda wano mutukuba obulango omuntu labira mu might drive mukozi waffe Kenneth yatanalabwako so gyasembyeyo ko ne mukola ne repeat
yamuzalidde obuzibu.
So in Uganda, either choose to speak about what is not going right or you choose. But if you choose what to speak about ebitatambula bulungi suubira nti Katonda bwakuyamba n'osigalawo yo bwakuvaamu oyinza obutasula ate oyinza okusula gy'otamanyi. So mu mawanga walaba nga environment za njawulo mukko. Mu Tanzania birala, mu Kenya environment ndalamu, ne mu Uganda ndalamu. So Bannayuganda balabanga environment ya politics mu Kenya bagirabanga ey'enjawulo n'eyaabwe. Ku Museveni ng'oleeta olugezigezi. Nalabako abantu nga responding to these two Kenyan nationals abalimu nga babagamba nti mwali munoonya ki mu Uganda wano muyitawo wammwe kamukirabe wano bazanyirawo mujja tegeera nti wano Museveni afuga. So I think that has been the difference. The youth pick lessons, but you implement them here in
you
the wrong class.
You understand that the environment is
in the wrong class.
The same.
That's the challenge. You implement them.
It is not a copy and paste situation. Well, thank you so much, Kenneth, for moving with me for the past 1 hour. I will have to let you go, and I welcome my guest of the day, Commissioner Bamwine Fred. A very good morning.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now, do you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Well, a very good morning once again. I am Farida and my guest is in the studios, Commissioner Bamwine. Fred, I want us to go straight to the topic because time is against us. Obudde tetuyina ate ensonga zetwagala okwogerako nkulu nnyo. A very good morning, Commissioner, and welcome to the show.
Morning to you, Madam Farida, and the viewers and the listeners of Dig Talk. I'm happy to be here, and I want to request you, much as you come here to do the show, do you have a garden for food and for food at home and surplus for sale?
No, like I said last Tuesday, I do not have the surplus, but I have that one for food.
That's not a bad beginning.
Yeah.
Now I encourage you to do more.
Well, someone requested me that we do another show from your farm, so that they can relate.
I have no problem.
What you are saying.
Actually, I'm advocating that every person in Uganda, 25 years and above, should own one cow. Did you read history? The founder of Uganda was called Chintu. Age. Once you have one cow, which can give you a maximum of 20 liters. You use 5 at home and sell 15.
Ogamba Frisian cows.
Yes.
Nenga bagamba ente ezo ziri expensive to maintain okubanga
kati toina bwobuko muganga tonda kutuukako.
Soko ogigule.
Soko bere nayo.
Kubanga capital gwe mtu wa
kubanga toina bwogambe
akakadde.
Waliwo neze mitwalo 8 weziri.
Ku farm yo?
Isikankubula ekintu kimu. Bakiyita mindset. Gula obwongo obwo. Ukwate mitwalo 8 oganti nonyanyana yente nzungu. Nebo otandika tikisoboka tikije kusoboka.
Ogule nyana.
Kubanga bwowe ni mitwalo 8 nonga ina 8 wano. Nenyana bajingambye kakadde. I cannot fail to contribute 50,000. And some like that. Start and move. ensi tekulinze
ensi tesobola
ebyokwekubagiza tibiyamba tandika mu lugendo kubanga bwe oyagala kugenda Kampala tosobola kunaaba n'otula mu ddiiro nogamba nange ngenda Kampala naye sirina sente kandi nina lifuti wano mu nyumba
tosobola kugifuna
omuntu agenda kuwa lifuti ng'oli ku kkubo n'olwekyo njagala abantu batandike okugulawo obwongo obugambe nti kisoboka then olabe ki ekyo kitasoboka okyogereko ne bamwine okyogereko ne management ya TikTok n'abalala the world will move.
Well, ensonga eyo tugenda kubanga ndowooza mugitegedde bulungi nnyo. Make sure oyina emmere w'ogirimye ng'ate waliwo okukona endala ey'okutunda naye have a step kale sooka olime ey'okulya ey'okutunda ejja kujja naye njagala tugende ku topic y'olunaku olwaleero commissioner eya Besigye's detention for the past 1 year ku Sunday yaweza omwaka mulamba ng'ali mu nkomyo naye gwe bw'otunuulira the current relationship between politics and the justice system what would be your say?
I don't know whether I'm at liberty because I am a paralawyer. Amasomo gange gonna galimu amateeka
kati no gwobeerera ddala mu position okutunuulira
ngenda ku LDC ninsoma diploma ya law ninzirayo ninsoma certificates 2 za clerkships kati amateeka nga manyiiko
kituufu
so kimanyi mateeka ga Uganda nti omusango buguba mu kooti tebagwogerako kyemanyi okujjako nga nkuwadde address ya Chief Justice Owinyi abeera wali kwa kooti yawo.
We are not going to focus on the case of Dr. Kizza Besigye, but I want us to look at how things are moving.
Kankubuulira ekizibu kitulina mu Uganda, si mu Uganda but ensi ezikyakula ndowooza twali wano nakyogerako bagiyita the legal regime.
Okay.
The legal regime enkola y'amateeka kati enkola y'amateeka yitulina mu Uganda nga bunkugambye nti omusango bugwera mu kooti temugwogerako.
Yes.
2 egamba nti omulamuzi wawe atandise kuwulira musango twaliwo alina obuyinza bumugamba nti sokolekeraawo oba lwaki oluddewo omulinda n'amaliriza either nagukusingisa oba n'ogusinga n'ojulira. That's the legal regime. Naye ebyo bijja kubanga ensi ekyakula ekyali nto. Nakugamba wano nga njozayoza mutabanyi w'omundu modane yakamala kufuuka meya wa America, New York. Nti Uganda bw'ogiraba olowooza nti nkulu. Naye ensonga zayisa mwana mutabanyi wa Mamundu Mumudani ensi erina emyaka 35 zifaanagana nezafaana. So enkola y'amateeka wano nze ng'omuntu siri musanyufu nayo. It's one of the areas we need to look at. Kubanga egamba nti omuntu yenna bamukwata talina musango. Is presumed innocent. Okutuusa kooti ng'egumusingisiza oba ye nga gukkiriza. So as we speak Besigye talina musango. But okusoomozebwa kuliwa. Nali mbigoberera bakyalina kawa mu kooti omuwaabi wa gavumenti yagamba nti ffe tuli ready abawaabi wa gavumenti. Jjukira Besigye is innocent until you prove beyond reasonable doubt nti omusango yaguza. So omuwaabi wa gavumenti yagamba nti tuli ready kutandika omusango okuwoza. Balooya ba Besigye ne bagamba nti ffe twagala tusooke tufune okweyimirira.
Twagala abantu baffe babate kubanga bange eri baweesa mandatory release liyiseewo.
But ekigendererwa ky'okuwa bbeeyiru kiba kitegeeza nti gavumenti teeteeseteese kuwoza tenaba kumaliza ebyokunoonyeza oba ki. This time for the first time gavumenti egamba ndi ready tutandike kubanga bbeeyiru egamba tojja kubeesera muntu mukomera nti kubanga tonaba kuba ready. And this time government is saying we are ready.
So oba oli ready, what stops
So,
you from okuwoza nange nga
anti kati baloya bange awo ndabira nti waliwo obuzanyi obuzanyibwa obuntamanyi ng'omuntu kubanga bumbanyi na lawyer candidate omusibe wange government negamba nti yagala kumwozesa nange bansasula kula nti mpoza. Why do we have to go into bazita legal gymnastics? Legal what?
Gymnastics.
Naate nze amanyi n'ebyamateeka ensi bw'ebeeramu emirembe lowooza baloya babaawo
baba tebalina kyebalya gwebaliira
kyovula baloya tebaagala ekigambo kibayita ADR, alternative dispute resolution. Kitegeeza alternative dispute resolution kitegeeza nti tutugenda mu byano ebya kooti by'amateeka tutuule ekitaka. Lwaki wankuba oli ddala? Lwaki wankuba? In fact ne government ku misango egyanagomola yaleetako ne kibayita pre-bargaining. Omusango naguzza naye bannange tikyali mu bugenderevu.
Nsaba kunsonyiwa mumpe ekibonerezo ekisaamusa
oba kunsonyiwa bumukisa n'okusonyiwa nekyo kusobola naye baloyo ebyo tebabyagala.
baagala tugende mu kooti
full trial.
waliira
anti kati ate bugukusinga omanyi kyagamba we have tried
I've done my best
but we can appeal. Can you imagine? We have tried but we can appeal. Then you go to court to appeal. Yeah, but I don't know what happened really. But we can go to Supreme Court. You
have a case. Zigenda.
Nobuzwanga sisente. Omusango gukusigala mu bulago. So me I would wish to appeal to the lawyers, the law fraternity, the judiciary systems, bagezeeko okwadaptinga ADR. By the way, kinta kubuuliranga. I'm a certified mediator and a certified arbitrator and a certified negotiator.
Ne olowooza ku musango okwo emisango egisinga ADR eyinza okuba nga tekola. Because most of those cases are
kati ekyembi nze naawe tutwaliyo. It is now Besigye and the state who knows. But if he knows that ebiboogera nti abimanyi kubanga mu byatandikira n'alaba wini ng'agamba ti naye omuzungu yamuyitaye nga talabikanga.
No, it is because they said omuzungu yamuyita
nga nibabeera mu
she was
rumbombi
relating to what was being spoken.
nibabeera mu rumbombi kati security bweyingira
Nereko
omuzungu n'abulawo kati awo situmanyi bamusanga nabyo.
Bagamba pisto
Situmanyi n'amaloboozi ge baarekodinga. Kati bw'aba nga kituufu he can go for pre-bargaining.
Nakkiriza omusango naga kituufu banayina.
Let's go for pre-bargaining. Or baloya be ne batuula ba state ne batandika full trial ne kigwa. Kubanga ba state bagamba we are ready.
We are ready.
But it's unfortunate nti abamu surviving in somebody's suffering. But that's the law. The only beauty is that in Uganda you should remain innocent. Kutuusa luli. Naye ekyo kyonna kitukubamu etooki nti kuva omuzungu yava wano ekyatulemesa kukyusa amateeka gaffe kiki? Amanti kati bunkusimba oli wano ogenda ku poliisi kunnoopa basooka mbakubuuza what's your tribe? Naye kati tribe nikukuba bikwataganirawo. Tribe, religion, bibasookamu. Because the police form ey'abazungu yasigala wano abazungu abadugavu tebalina plot numbers. Kati bagamba okumanya obulungi omuntu ono waabe tusooke tumanyi gwanga lye n'eddiini ye. Then nokumanya empisa za different tribes. Ebyo tukyalimu ebyo by'abazungu. But we got independence, some of these things should have been changed.
Yeah, true.
So to me, I'm not comfortable with the legal regime we have. I told you about the Commonwealth. Why do you talk of Commonwealth when people are not the same? Really, Commonwealth, what to encourage Nabazung?
Not at all.
Next, Commonwealth countries.
But now that it is happening, Commissioner, what steps should be done? Kulanga tufuna.
No, chogid. Baluya bazuke bageni baleki kutukuponya bonya kala antu wawe bageni mbasa umusango wa fixing wo kigwe. Nubugumusinga wanasobora kujuriya ku court of appeal. Nubugumusinga court of appeal so kujuriya ku Supreme Court.
Never to know legal battles are Dr. Besigye. Is it a legal issue or a political issue?
They are not battles, they are gymnastics.
Is it? Can you draw a difference? Between a battle and a gymnastic?
A battle,
it is happening in court.
If the state was saying it is not ready, then they would have a valid point. The state is saying, I'm ready to proceed. Because we should wish to have a free and fair, speedy trial. Exactly. Transparent, speedy trial.
But they are saying, Bakiliant Sibabwe, Bamaze Banga Dene, Sobasose Babate, Bawazenga Bavawe.
In nature, Nasho Chabwa, what were ruling Justice Kania Comfort. She said, as far as I'm concerned, these suspects have the potential to interfere with the case. And it's a ruling.
Justice Kania Comfort
and they have
gave
not,
all
by
of
the
grounds,
way,
out of the 5 grounds.
And by the way, they have not appealed against it.
It is because they know it is the same system. Maybe. I'm just saying it.
No, appeal. These are about 5-7 judges. At least they're more than 3. Oli alimula muzomu. Oboli yabo alamuza basatu batano bandu banendoza yanjawo. And that's why I call it a legal gymnastic.
Bozanyo.
Bwa mateeka. Kubanga singa obo yagala omuntu afulume mangu. State ne government are ready. Say, let us fix. Tuoze. Miezi ebiri bwa mwezi gumu ekyo kigwe. Naye omuntu alemedde mu kooti mukomera. Ne bw'olya kyamisana kyaggulo n'omusaala n'ofuna.
Ne bwe tutunuulira amateeka ge tulina galina kubeera a tool for justice, not a tool for containment.
Anti kyenkugambye nti ekyembi amateeka ge tukyalina g'abazungu after 63 years of independence.
Kati lwaki the government that you are supporting teteseewo miwaatwa butya bwe tuyinza kubanga modernizing the law nti it doesn't come for me as the common person but it also protects those in power.
Kati kyerabidde kiri kimu waffe tulina olugero ng'olina otulo n'olukwala bw'oba olina otulo gw'oteeke ku buliri
kituufu
naye Katonda akyali ku TV atemye TV by'obuliri tebimukwatako.
So you are literally meaning nti oli ali mu buyinza amateeka tegamukosa
anti gamateeka
kati ffe begakosa we need to take a step.
It's an issue for all Ugandans. But more so, those who are not in leadership. Omanyi lwaki nali saagala tugende mu nkola ebibiina bingi. By the way, I don't support them.
Yeah, you made it clear last
now, one of the reasons they gave us, nti mbeera n'ebibiina bingi, there is checks and balances. Kati batakkaanya ne gavumenti batuusewa mu kukyusa amateeka gano. Oba at least kuleta ekirozo nkirema.
These people say those legal reforms tezirina we ziyita bazireta ku floor of parliament naye zirina we ziremera. The legal reforms that are presented at the parliament. Our MPs.
Ani yenna.
I won't mention.
Kati-
I'm going to go for them
kati-
personally.
kati kankutumire genda mungambire that you are naive. Wakibogwe.
Okay, why?
Kubanga I have evidence. Honorable Sereko
Yeah,
is an independent member of parliament for Kampala Central.
True.
Yaretere etteeka lya computer misuse. Lyayitamu oba tiryayitamu?
The item.
Baali bameka? Honorable basaalirwa yareetera etteeka erigaana ebisiyaga mu Uganda.
The item.
Lyayitamu?
The item.
Omanyi nti ava mu kibiina yeka kya Jema. Is the only member of parliament of Jema.
Yes, sure.
Kati aboogera ziri ensonga banafu. Bakibogwe. Kizibu tubambuulidde.
But the same
Nandi
issue
bagambye personally.
Ochimanyi Commissioner, the same issue has also been said about the election reforms. Ngagamba zileeteddwa but
Obwo bunafu ani azireese.
teziweereddwa.
By then bwaba nga ziri, let me tell you. Wakiri zitabling zireme. Manyi waffe mu nkole waliwo akanyonyi bakayita kanyamunyu. Kanyamunyu is a small bird kayina color za white and black. Katono. Kati kagenda nakatunula waggulu awo nekalaba the crowds naye nkuba wano amazzi gano tegayiika nekakuba nekasambayo omugere nigamba nti wadde situuse naye ngezezaako.
So try. Try and do
You
something.
try and at least we're on record. Nze kankubuulire Farida, bwe waliwo ekizibu kyatujjira bebaka ba parliament. Yes.
Right,
Do you know
it
that
is right.
they are paid an average of 50 million per month per person for doing nothing?
We expect them to be doing something.
Hati kibi tuwogeraku kati. Government katugambe teteeka tiririreese. You bring yours as a private member's motion. Where is it? Ate kyembi.
I think they are suppressed.
Ekyembi abali mu government n'ab'omu opposition bayingire mu kizimbe kiri.
Babeera omuntu omu.
They are united members of the Republic of Uganda. Bonna. Kola ensobi gwe wa TikTok nga bagenda kuyisa ensako yaabwe ogende nti ogenda kusaka mawulire. Onagajjawa. Babagalire bwere ne beesibira muli. So there is nothing called opposition here. This is a category of eating. So nze ebyo binnuma. I want to see a member of parliament standing tall.
Yeah, on the floor of parliament.
Nagamba nti nze ensonga ekwata ku mateeka ga Uganda yino ngitebulinze. Tumulitubeere no record. There is only a member of parliament mu Uganda lyoko eyali akikozeeko. Bamuyita Zeritwawula omulongo. Yali mu lukiiko baluyita NRC government ga yakatuuka mu buyinza. Kano kizabe siyo twogerako. Najja mu parliament, I think it was 89, 88. Nagamba tukusinziira batulaba twasaba tugenda kubeera wano emyaka 4. Naye twabasuubiza tubinaba kuggwa. Semateeka kola semunibira. Tubasaba mutwongereyo. Mukulu Besigye olabwo oyo. He was the national political commissar. He was the minister of presidency. We are tabling omulongo wa Zeritwawula. Nagamba nti nze abanga ba Kampala Central abantuma wano nze bitu babintumi. Zeritwawula yakwata ensawo n'afuluma. N'omusaala teyagutwala. Kati mbuuza bana bakulu. Okay, kansoke opposition. Kubanga bubagamba nti.
Nabo bazze beekandaga ku nsonga nnyingi nnyo.
Babanja, wali omusaala gwe tebanatwala.
Awo we batannatuuka okugaana omusaala.
Banatuukako ddi?
N'okwekandaga ng'ensonga eziyisibwa ku parliament.
Zeritwawula yeekandaga n'atakomawo yagendera ddala.
N'atadda ku
He said I can't sit in this parliament. That's what he said. Kubanga banga ba Kampala Central ebyo si batu babintu.
Si bye bantu.
Kati abakulu abo boyogerako. Waliwo abanja omwezi oguwedde.
Tewali.
Ne guno babasasudde. okutugwa katuka katukunugo tebakyabanje
November kwe tulimu
basudda. So this is, you know, mu Luganda alina ekigambo kibayita okuwudisa.
So that means tulina abakulembeze ab'ekibuga okubuzaabuza abantu abo nenga tulina nsonga y'amaanyi.
Teri.
So then commissioner ekyo kitegeeza nti tulina abakulembeze ab'ekibuga.
Ate ab'ekibuga olutalo wakati wa Namboze ne Rutamaguzi ne Gundi n'Empuuga waluwulidde.
Ndogoberera.
Alo mukwano gwange Muwanga Kivumbi. Abadde ku lwale n'agamba nti babagambye nti waggulu ku president bamanyi kyokkola. Naye batuuka wansi awo buli omu akolenga bw'alaba. Muwanga Kivumbi abayise bakapere. Pressure baliko kati. Nenta bwagala kujjako Museveni. Ono akuba ono nakubuli Namboza kubuli kati bwemba tunuulira amayinzi eddiini yange ya Kinansi naye bwemba tunuulira balinga bano mu Bayibuli abaali bazimba omunaala
ogende ewa Katonda
baatuuka wali Babironi awo ennimi
nezikyankalana
baawula ekikonde kiri wakati wa DF ne NUP. Jews abanupo basinkana ba FDC budaka. Ate babadde bagamba nti police teetagisa bayita police ntejetasi.
Sakati bwotunuulira.
N'omusajja omukulu yali eri.
The judicial system as it is in Uganda. Bizibu ki byefeesinga Uganda balowooza nti teli independent. It operates on all.
Naye abagamba nti teli independent. How much have they invested in its independence? Nze nsuubira singa baloya ba mukulu Besigye bateekayo empapula zaabwe bagamba we are ready to proceed, then kati court neyebuzabuza, then they would say the court independent. Naye baloya buli kiseera bajja mu kooti taata we are not ready to proceed, twagala kusooka bail. Bail ya myaka emeka?
Bwe tolaba nti kiriwo ekyaliso
kiringa okufumba emmere ogitaddeko ssaawa emu mukaaga gutuuse twagala kukimisana nti alindako
tusooka kulya breakfast,
tusooke breakfast ssaawa mukaaga mwenda gutuuse nti sooka olindeko. Bannange omuntu omunafu gukoye ebigere.
Naye commissioner bw'otunuulira ensonga nga as they are being handled.
By who?
By those that are handling them. Abalamuzi bannamateeka n'oludda oluwaabi.
Mayi kingenda kukola ngenda kuwa contact ya Winyodoro ye chief justice wa Uganda yabisobola.
Okay, let us leave naye bw'olaba
because I have seen the DPP saying I'm ready to proceed and the lawyers of Mukulu Besigye are saying we start with bail. Kati waga DPP akole DPP tagaba bail.
Nanti bali mu maaso g'omuntu alina mandate ebukirizo gaba bail.
Omulamuzi bail yagiweereza ruling. Let justice comfort Kanye. What I would expect in law is to appeal against that ruling. Have they done it?
No, they haven't.
Kati yao bakuseredde mu katale oyombesa kubo.
Tugenda kubanga tumaliza show yaffe ne commissioner. Well, he does not agree that a lot of things are being done wrongly in the judicial system, though it is what is happening.
You see, the law says...
Let's talk about the heavy deployments that happen around
the principle in law
courts.
says that equity helps the vigilant. That's a principle in law. Ntamateeka gayambo ya yeyambi. Nitoje kuteka musango noga. Banakola nga banalaba. Equity helps the vigilant. If DPP has come and said is ready, you also has you move. You say we are ready. Or we have appealed. But as you appeal, you remember this one is still in prison. The man is still in prison, and his colleague.
Talowooza nti emisango gino egiri political and they are
Political? Is that the charge sheet?
They are political in nature.
Kati nze siringa kitanga tasoma. Nze nasoma.
So how would
Omusango gwa
you
Besigye gwalina, it's not a political case.
It is what?
It's a treason case.
But then why is it being handled as a political case?
By who?
By the judicial system.
The judicial system has said we are waiting for the lawyers, the councils, the land friends to let us proceed, and the councils are saying, no, you wait.
Commissioner, bw'otunuulira ensonga nga bwezi, do you think the government still has the public trust in relation to the judicial system? And
Public trust?
Yes.
You wait on 15th January.
But we know what will happen on
What is
15th.
going to happen?
People are going to the polls.
Yes. And the outcome of the polls will indicate whether there is public trust or not. If there is no public trust, the government will be voted out of power.
So
but
if
once it is elected back, that means there is public. That's how you can gauge public trust. Otherwise, me and you, we can sit here and we claim to be Ugandans, majority Ugandans.
Yes.
No. We are not the majority. There are those watching us, majority of them,
Yes, true.
and even cleverer than us.
Yeah, true.
So, you can only do that either through a referendum or through an election like the one that's going to happen. That's when you can know whether there's still public trust in government or not.
Okay, thank you so much. Ngenda kubanga mpunzika show ya fe y'olunaku lwaleero. It is unfortunate that we had commissioner for only 30 minutes. Bw'ajja wano n'awolereza nnyo government and then he realizes
Do you know Luganda?
that the jam emuleetera okutuuka wano.
Do you know Luganda?
Yes.
Abaganda balina olugero nti nawo osula olumu obalawo.
Kituufu.
Even the 30 minutes are not wasted.
Ya kituufu. Naye tuba tukumiisiriza.
Ssebo nnyabo abantu olina ekyokola ekireeta emmere ku mmeeza ne ssente mu mpale. That's our commitment as government. We have finished. We are still continuing the roads with the power and the rest, but we want you to have money in the pocket.
Ate ng'olina n'ekyokulya.
And you have food at home.
Tweyanziza nnyo tweyanzige. Njaga kubanga mbaagaliza olunaku olulungi sinkana olunaku olw'enkya essaawa zigenda kubeera 2 ez'okumakya. Mubeere bulungi. Mweraba.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.